In the late 1800s, the world was already whispering about a killer across the Atlantic, a phantom who stalked the streets of Whitechapel under the name Jack the Ripper. But while London trembled, another kind of monster was at work here in America. He wasn't hiding in alleyways. He was greeting guests at the front desk. His name was H. Holmes, doctor, businessman, and the man many now call America's first serial killer. While the world obsessed over the Ripper, Holmes built a 3-story hotel in Chicago, a labyrinth designed for murder and filled with secrets no one would survive to tell. Somehow, his name isn't spoken as often as the others. Not like Bundy, not like Dahmer. But make no mistake, Holmes was here first. He was the blueprint. My dear guests, he designed them. So step inside, close the door. The price of admission is subscription. Welcome to the dark room. The first real crack in the facade of Dr. H. Holmes didn't come from a screaming victim or a suspicious neighbor. It came from a missing man, an insurance policy, and a widow's growing dread. His real name was Herman Webster Mudgett, but by the time most people knew that, the stories were already spiraling. Headlines had already christened him the Devil of Chicago, the Murder Castle, the monster of 63rd Street. But when law enforcement knocked on his door in Boston that day in 1894, they weren't thinking mass murder, they were thinking fraud. Swindling, maybe bigamy, at worst. The arrest was clean, almost boring. What the police didn't realize then, and what no one could have prepared for, was that they had just handcuffed a man who had built a house specifically designed to make people disappear. Enter Benjamin Petezel. Holmes had drawn him into a convoluted insurance scam. Fake Ben's death, collect on the $10,000 life insurance policy. Ben trusted him until it was too late. In September of 1894, Benjamin Petezel did die. He was murdered in a house in Philadelphia, his body disfigured, his identity barely recognizable. Chloroform was poured down Petezel's throat after death. But Holmes didn't stop there. He convinced Carrie Petezel, Benjamin's wife, that her husband was still alive, hiding out under a new identity. Holmes, ever the gentleman, offered to help relocate the family. He separated Carrie from her children and took 3 of them, Alice, Nellie, and Howard, on what can only be described as a death tour. In the end, there was no reunion, just 2 trunks in Toronto and a small stove in Indiana. Carrie's suspicions mounted. When they finally caught up with him in Boston, he didn't resist. After his arrest, Holmes became something of a celebrity. He gave interviews, posed for photographs, sold the rights to his story. Holmes confessed to 27 murders, more than likely 9 to 12. On May 7th, 1896, at the Moyamensing Prison in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, H. Holmes was executed. Witnesses at the execution noted that Holmes remained calm and composed, almost eerily so, and that it took him nearly 15 minutes to die due to a miscalculated drop, during which he showed no sign of panic or struggle. In the next episode of The Dark Room, we'll step inside the murder castle to uncover what really happened behind those walls. If you're drawn to the shadows like we are, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode. Drop a comment below, let us know what you think really happened inside Holmes' so-called hotel. Thank you. Goodbye for now.